Okay, so good morning, all of you. Welcome back to DevOps sessions. Remote ఇక్కడ ఉంది. Okay, so guys, am I audible, guys? Anyone please confirm from online? Let me change chart to everyone. You can close this one. Reflection is there, right? Okay, thank you. Pavan, Pravalika, Nagarjuna, Sandeep, Venkat Mahesh, Rupesh. Hi, good morning. Imran. Okay, so yeah, Pavan, good morning. So I have shared some blogs. Okay, I think you have seen that, right? If you have any doubts, go through that. Those blogs. Anyway, so recently I have started the blogs. Okay, so if you have any confusions, if you ask me that, I will share the blog. You can just go through the blogs. Okay, and DevOps also like Jenkins, Docker, Git. I'm going to share the blogs if you have any doubts. But don't depends on the blogs only. First you try. If you have any doubts, then we can see that. Okay. So guys, so today I'm going to discuss on IAM roles. Okay, what is IAM role? IAM role is a very important concept, guys. Um, IAM role. Okay. So IAM role is a so by using IAM role, we can provide temporary access. Okay, temporary access. For example, guys, no need to configure any keys. No need to configure any keys. For example, guys, small dive here. So in your instance, okay, in your instance, AWS EC2 instance, may little confused, but try to understand. AWS EC2 instance communicate to S3. Okay, want to communicate to S3 in programmatical access. Leave it for console access now. Programmatical access. So from AWS EC2, if you communicate to S3 bucket, whatever command it is, create or delete or list, what is the process? By default, will it communicate? Different services in even same region also different services. If we want to communicate, we have to attach permissions. Clear? So my AWS EC2 going to communicate with S3. What is the process? Meanwhile, I'll just create one EC2 instance. Anyway, instance is already there in my end. I think sandbox is not fit for this creation. What is the process meanwhile? You just guess it. Okay. So in your local laptop, if you want to communicate, S3 bucket, what is the process? This understanding is very important, guys. Very, very important, this understanding as a DevOps engineers. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Nagarjuna is very good. AWS configure is first command from the local laptop. Understand it. From the local laptop, we need to configure AWS configure and give user credentials. The user having permission of S3, you are able to access. Right in the command prompt, what we did in the last two classes. Okay, that scenario we know, right? That scenario we know. So for example, I'm going to create EC2 instance. I'm in the root. Understand? I'm in the root. Okay, anyway, one instance already running. Okay. Let me connect this instance. You can assume it's a fresh instance from your case. Okay. So switch to root anyway. Okay. So I'm the root account, right? I'm the root account. Can I access AWS as programmatically? Programmatically. Okay, let's try. AWS. What happened? Okay. Okay, it's loading. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll create a fresh instance. Okay, I am role instance name. Anyway, test instance. So I'm taking Amazon Linux, T2 micro, key pair. I'm going to create test key. So go with existing security groups. So just created instance. Okay. I'm the root created instance. Okay. Instance is running now. Okay. Connect. Guys, please understand what I'm saying here. Otherwise, you will confuse. You will ask so many questions for today in Telegram. Okay, if you are not understanding. What's your is initializing state, right? Wi-Fi is not good here. Anyway, meanwhile, I'll just connect this one also. Okay. So, okay. So my instance, AWS, see, I have logged in through console, right? I have created EC2 instance, logged in through console. Understand? Point number one is console. But I'm accessing AWS S3 LS. I have just logged in my EC2 instance, but I'm accessing which command it is? CLI command. AWS S3 LS is a CLI command. CLI commands works and process of programmatical access. Clear, right? But I have logged in console access my EC2 instance. Understand it. From EC2 instance, I'm going to access S3 by using programmatical access. AWS S3 LS means. Clear or not? Okay. What is expecting here? Unable to locate credentials. You can configure credentials by running. See, I'm the root. Yes, I'm the root. So root want to access AWS S3 LS. What is the process? Configure keys. Which keys those are? Root keys, right? So root can create keys here, right? Security credentials. Clear or not? So first, okay, you are going with the CLI approach. I mean programmatical approach. But you have login console approach. You are an EC2 instance. Yes, I can understand. So configure your programmatical access. So root also can create access key security, right? So root what root need to do? Create access key secret key. Okay, access key. I'll just go to configure here. Where is this? Okay. Again, need to connect. Okay. Sudo su hyphen. So AWS S3 LS, right? So not working, right? Asking keys configure. So I need to configure keys, right? In the root. I'm the root. I'm not explaining any users concept now. Understand? How to configure keys? AWS configure. So if you want to go with CLI approach, you need to configure CLI keys, right or not? Yes. These keys are root keys only, root created keys. Access key. Next, enter. Secret access key. Next, region, US East 1. Next, JSON. I have a configure, right? I have configure root keys in root EC2. Now, your EC2 can communicate CLI commands through CLI commands also. Why you have configured CLI keys? The keys is root keys only. AWS S3 LS. No buckets. Okay, in my end, no buckets. See how to create bucket. AWS S3 MB S3 bucket name, right? You can give any bucket name. Naresh IT DevOps AWS something. Okay, bucket created, but I haven't given any region, right? Which region it's created? US East 1 I have to configure here in my keys, right? By default, it will take from there. But how I can create a bucket? So by root having all permissions, right? If you configure keys, you can create any service. Why? It's a root keys. You have configure root keys. Clear? You configure root keys. For example, if you configure user keys, clear what I'm trying to say? If you configure IAM user keys, so if user having S3 permission, then only you are able to create. But root, once you configure the root keys, no permission required. It's a root keys by having admin access. But in a user perspective, already we have login user, right? Configure user keys, right? If you provide root permission to user, which is S3 or EC2, whatever, then only CLI user can able to access those permissions. Clear the difference? Any confusions, any doubts here meanwhile? So that I will explain one more way. Any confusions? Yes, I have configured root keys, not user keys. That's what S3 permission is not required for your EC2 instance. Is this clear? Yeah. See, I've just logged in my EC2 instance through console. Okay. So, but I'm going to perform the CLI operations. By command, I'm going to create S3, RDS, whatever services. For that, you need to configure keys. Programmatical access. If you can go with the programmatical access approach, what the credentials you need to use? Access key, secret key, not username, password, right? So to configure from the EC to create from the EC2 instance to any other services by using CLI approach, we have to configure access key secret key in your local or EC2 instance. That access key secret key having root administration permissions. Why you are using root permissions? You have created keys, root keys. That's what your EC2 instance able to create S3 by CLI command. The CLI command, whatever you are using AWS S3 MB CLI command to create S3 bucket. Your EC2, your root able to create S3 bucket, not required to attach S3 permission to root having all permissions. You have configure root access, secret key access key. Is it clear? Okay. Yeah. So for example, one more EC2 instance I'm going to connect, test instance now. Okay. What happened to this instance? Okay, I got it. This one, right? Let me go with security groups. Protocol may be disabled. Security. Okay, this is not enabled for all traffic, right? Clear? This is enabled for all traffic only SG inside, but I'm outside, right? So I need to enable what? All. Okay, let me delete. Otherwise, release all traffic. Where is all traffic here? So anywhere IPv4, right? So save rules. Now it will connect. Just refresh. So understand. Okay. Sudo su hyphen. Okay. Okay. So now my user is, for example, if I create a user here, come to IAM. Okay. I'm going to create a one IAM user. Understand the process here. Create user, user name. Okay. Developer one. Okay. Clear? Developer one created by root. Okay. Permissions, I'm not going to give any permissions. Okay, next. User created. User created, okay. Now, root has to give login credentials, either programmatical or console based. Clear? How to give security credentials. I'm giving to developer one security credentials, root guy. Console sign in is one access. I'm going to give console sign in. Custom password. I'm just giving one password. Okay. So close this one. I'm going to give access secret key also access also to the my developer one. I mean, I'm going to give two approaches: console approach, programmatical approach. Is this clear? Okay. So these are just third-party services inside AWS. Local code means the code is there in the inside AWS. Like that, we can use these different environments. Okay, but CLI, it will support for all approaches. Okay, you can give any some name. Okay, my access key secret key also ready for developer one. Clear? My developer one can log in console approach. My developer one login access key secret key. Clear? Okay, let's log in my developer one by using. Let me save this access key secret key somewhere. This is little confused the topic. If you are understanding means we can easily understand IAM and everything. Coming tasks also depends on these task access. Okay, my access key secret key is ready, right? So now I'm going to log in through console my user. Clear? So how to log in? Let's go to developer one. So security credentials. I can take this link directly, right? Console sign in link. Copy. Come to Microsoft Edge. So this is developer one. Let me check the name exactly. Developer one. Okay. What happened? ID is wrong. Huh? Password wrong. Huh? Okay. I configured wrong password. I have changed password again. Okay. Anyway, I have logged in. So this is my AWS dashboard. So the credentials created by root account. Now user is going to log in those with those credentials. Which access? Console access. I have tried, not programmatical access. It's taking time. What happens when you click forget password? User can set a password. How user can set a password? If user can set a password, what is the restrictive root? No, guys. Root only give the password. If you forget now, you just inform the root. I forget my password. He can create again. Just what? That's what I did right now, right? One more question. Root have okay. Why is taking much time? Root can reset password. Yes, very good. Anyway, guys, I'm in the console. User console, this is. This is user console, not root console. Is this clear, everyone? Can I create EC2 instance? Can I create or not? No. So what I need to do? Go to root. Who is this guy? Developer one. I need to give access, right? So permissions, add permissions. We'll check what permissions is required to create EC2 instance. I'm just giving EC2 only full access. Okay. Amazon EC2 full access. I have given add permissions. So I have given permissions to my user to create EC2 instance. Now again, user will come try to create EC2 instance. Is this clear? If any dependency permissions required, we can add those permissions also. What if we forget the password of root? Which password? I mean login password. Forget password. Same like internet banking only. Your internet banking, if you forget password na, what is the option? OTP. Same thing here also. Okay. See, I'm able to see two instances. Why? No. Understand each step is very. If you miss one step, I can't help you guys. Seriously saying that. Again, I need to spend one more class. Each step is very, very important here. Understanding is very important. Two instances I'm able to see right here. But I'm the user, right? I'm not in the root. But I'm able to see two EC2 instances. Why? Root is giving EC2 full access. Is this clear, right? Now I'm going to create a launch instance. So I'm just different person now. I'm not root. Just assume it. Root given me permission to create EC2 instance. Means EC2 full access. T2 micro, holler, key pair, test key. So go with the existing one or here default. So launch instance, right? My user is created a one instance since having permissions given by root EC2 full access. Okay. Now root also can see this user or not? Yes. This is clear, right? Yeah. So my EC2 user, let me check security group again. Default security group you have given, right? So yeah, perfect. So I'm going to connect this instance. User is connecting instance, not root. So connect instance. Yes, dev one is having full access, Ramesh. The root user can reset OTP or two-factor authentication. Right, Imran? Thank you so much. Any questions? Meanwhile, it is taking some time to buffer. Anyone having any questions? Oh, silence means no questions, right? Thank you. High latency. Yeah. See here, I'm able to see only 4. Okay. Access denied. Okay. So to connect EC2 instance, maybe one permission is required, right? Yeah. Let's go to Google. Okay. EC2 instance to connect. Describe instance now. Full access means describe also there, right? To connect. There is a, let's go to here. Root. I'm the root right now. Let's go to here. Here, right? Okay. Developer one, let's go to add permissions. Is there any connect permissions? We can see. There is one EC2 instance connect. Okay. EC2 instance connect. I can remove this one. Okay, let update now. So full access plus EC2 connect access I have given to my user. Now let's come here and refresh here. Okay, my user successfully connected. So switch to sudo su hyphen. Understand here. I have logged in console. Now AWS S3 LS. Okay. What would be the output? No access or configure keys. Which error will come? No access or configure the keys. No access, huh? Guys, if you configure keys means then request will start to hit, right? First access will be there or not. First, the request has to start, right? Without keys, how the request will start? Once you configure keys, then it will verify access there or not. Is it clear? Now, access key secret key first. Same, what root did, same user also doing right. From the EC2 instance, I'm going to access through programmatical. Create, delete, update. So here you need to understand the clear difference. See, I need to configure same like root, right? AWS configure, right? Which keys need to configure here? User or root? User keys. I have already copied right here. Right? After creating user keys, I have copied in Notepad, right? Otherwise, you can take from there, no problem. Sorry, here only, right? Paste. Next, secret key. These are generated by root, right? To developer to give developers. Region US East 1 JSON. Clear? Now if I give AWS S3 LS, any guess? Access. I believe it will work. Huh? Access denied. So what is the difference you observe in the root and user? What do you observe, root and user? Root having by default all permissions, but user no permission for S3, right? If I go root, my root, this is the root gear, right? So if I go to my developer one, if I give permissions S3, full access means now you can come to user here. You can give again. See, I'm able to see the root created a bucket, but the same concept in the root point of view, no need to give permissions, root having full permissions. But here programmatical access in the EC2 instance. So we have already discussed programmatical is in the command prompt. I'm discussing in the EC2 instance. So user is logged in EC2 instance, trying to access through programmatical keys already given by root, but permission is not there. Is this clear too? In the EC2 instance level, how we can access? Okay. Anyone has any doubts? Yes, very good. Clear, right? Till here, clear everyone? Online team, please give response. If it is clear means easy. Yeah. So now, what is role? That is a point here, right? So here, yeah. Why we list S3? Just for checking permission only, Ramesh. I'm checking permission whether there or not. You can give any command, CLI command to verify any service. I'm taking an example for S3 only. Okay, don't confuse here. Okay. Now what is role? Role is nothing but we can access any service without configure keys. The definition is root is a temporary access. We can provide access to any service without configure keys. Without configure keys. Is this clear? So how it will work, we can verify now. How it will work, we can verify. I'm going to create one more EC2 instance. So these two instances I have logged in by using console and trying to access programmatical access, right? So for that, I need to configure keys. Definitely. Even root also. See, sir, why root permission required? Maybe you will get a doubt, right? Why root is unable to access AWS S3 LS? We need to configure keys first, right? That is a programmatical approach. For the programmatical approach, we need to configure keys. Then only it will understand the API. So root having keys, user having keys. For root, we can configure root keys. User can configure user keys. But user point of view, if root given permission means user can able to create or update. But in the root, once configure the root keys, root can able to do everything. Is it clear the difference? Okay. Now I'm going to create one more EC2 instance. The difference I'm going to show you here. Who created this one? Okay, I created na too. Okay. Okay. Launch instance. Now role. Role EC2. Just what is role? Okay, anyway. Dev something. In bracket role. Name your wish, guys. So key pair, I'm giving the same key pair and all are same and existing security group I'm going to select here and all are same, right? I can go with the launch instance. See, root is creating now. Leave it for users concept again. So if user has only EC2 access and he want to create instance in another VPC, not required. Just EC2 access is enough. Okay. See, one VPC is going to create means different VPCs it will create, right? That where you have to mention in the network while creating EC2 instance, we have to specify network. Clear? But if you want to create VPC, then you will need a VPC full access. Clear? Existing VPC not required. Creation of VPC you can require. See here, Linux user is different. This is IAM users. Clear? Don't merge in this. May you confuse. Linux user, super user concept is it is just for only Linux point of view. We are an IAM. We are discussing about AWS services policies permissions. I'm not explaining here IAM user. Sorry, I'm confusing here. Linux user, Linux root. I'm not explaining Linux user, Linux root. Please leave me for that. We have a dedicated sessions for 3 days. I'm going to take care of that. This is IAM users. AWS environment I'm explaining you. In that Linux, root Linux user will definitely understand at the time if you have a knowledge on IAM. Same process there also. There is no different. But we are using AWS environment. In the Linux is we are just Linux point of view we can see there. Okay, we can explaining. Don't worry. In organization, do we need to provide access to other separate IAM engineer for that? That's what I'm saying. That in organization, when new persons will come, root has to give the permissions, right? IAM engineer. No, guys, there is no separate IAM engineer. Okay, security group engineers. Only one engineer, AWS engineer. Even nowadays, AWS engineer also they are expecting from DevOps, vice versa. Don't stick on for only AWS engineer. Don't stick on for only DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer has to know AWS 100%. Now the situation is there. AWS engineer has to know DevOps 100%. In that case, we have to take training too. If you want to apply 4 years, 5 years, now you can go 2 years means not required. Anyway, so my dev is created, right? Guys, please focus here. Once you focus means you can easily understand, then I can answer your questions. Don't worry. My role instance is created. Instance is created. I'm going to connect my instance by root. See the difference here. Sudo su hyphen, right? Now, if I'm leave it for this command also, I'm going to take care. Now, I'm going to access AWS S3 LS again. Guys, this command I'm taking an example. You can take any example. For CLI access approach to check, I'm taking an AWS S3 LS example. It will work or not? What error we will get again? Configure keys, right? So for that, I need to configure again keys in this instance, but old instance already configure, right? So you can assume that is a laptop. This is new laptop. I need to configure my keys. So what role is saying? IAM role is saying no need to configure keys. By using role, you can access any service. That is a concept of role. Let's move how to create a role, then we can get an understand now, right? Yeah. Okay. Understand it, guys. I will explain one more time if required. Role. This is the role dashboard. Create role. Create role. Requirement is, for example, EC2 is going to communicate with S3. Not S3 is going to communicate with EC2. Understand? EC2 will get the details from S3. AWS S3 LS in EC2 means EC2 is expecting to get a bucket list. Right or not? Here source is EC2, requester is EC2, and responder is S3. So we need to select here requester. Clear? Yeah, always we work with role Lambda or EC2 always. Always your server will communicate to other things, right? That's what they are giving common use services EC2 and Lambda. But these services are very, very, very rare. To create role behalf of API gateway, create role behalf of something, whatever there is, CloudWatch. These are very rare cases. Creating role server services are a prior. So EC2 is server service. Lambda also server, but serverless. I will explain that Lambda session. Don't worry. I've selected EC2, right? My EC2 creating a role for EC2 to access S3 bucket, right? Next. I have already selected, right? Okay. Okay. So here I want to give permission for my role. Which permission? Now again, you can understand which permission S3 or EC2 custom or inline policy. So behalf of user, we are adding role here. You can assume user as a role. You are attaching permission to user, right? Now I'm attaching permission to role. But the difference, the two is user can log in with their credentials, but role, there is no credential to log in. Is this clear, the difference? Yeah. So S3 full access. I'm giving S3 full access to my role only. Role name I need to define, right? I'm giving just EC2 to S3, right? Access like that. Just I'm giving role name like that way. Create role. Clear? I have created a role. So now this role we can attach to which instance is going to communicate S3 bucket. Is this clear? Yeah, I will show you. This is my EC2 instance, right? I need this instance's permission to access S3 bucket. I haven't configured any keys, right? If you can see here. Yeah, this one only, right? I'm looking to access S3 bucket, asking to locate credentials, but without giving access to secret key, I'm trying to access by using role. So my role is ready, right? That role we need to attach to your instance. Then your instance is able to access S3 bucket. Okay, your role is ready. So which instance you are going to attach, that you have to decide. This instance, right? So let's go. This instance, right? I need to attach. Go to actions, security service IAM role, modify IAM role. So there is no IAM role I have attached while creating EC2 instance, right? I can attach after also creation. So I can drop down here. This is the role, right? I'm going to attach to my EC2 instance. I have attached to my EC2 instance that role having S3 permissions. Now you can give same command. Here, right? Here, right? See, no need to configure keys and right. So it's a temporary access. You can create a role and attach permissions. You attach to that role to your EC2 instance. Now keys are not required. Clear? Same thing user also, right? User also create one role. If user having permission, user can log in. User can give AWS S3 LS without configure keys. Is this clear? Yeah. So who will attach role to this EC2 instance? Admin will attach. Clear? Admin will create IAM role, right? Admin will attach to you role permission to your user EC2 instance. Otherwise, admin can give permissions for role attachment permission to you. You can attach your role to your EC2 instance. Is this clear? Yeah. So what you observe here, without keys, I can communicate. Again, I'm explaining the paint. You will get a clarity. Okay. Let's assume this is your EC2 instance. This is your EC2 instance. Is this clear? So your EC2 instance want to communicate S3 bucket. So different way. First we discuss theory, then practical, right? So today little different. First practical, then theory. So here two ways are there. So this is root EC2. Root EC2, right? Logged in console. Okay. So to access S3, how to access? I have logged in my EC2 instance in the root. I need to access S3 bucket through CLI. How can I access? Yeah. By configure keys, right? By configure keys. I can access. The command may be AWS S3 LS. Whatever command, just for accessing only. Okay. So which keys it is? Root keys, right? By configuring keys, root keys. So root can able to access AWS S3 LS by having all permissions. So this is what approach one. Okay. Now approach two. I don't want to configure any keys here. Without keys, I want to access. So we have approach is what? IAM role approach. Without configure credentials, I can access S3 by using IAM role. Is this clear? Yeah. No need to configure keys. So how to create IAM? So IAM role, first step is what here? Role, creating role, behalf of EC2, right? Requester is EC2, okay. And permissions, list of permissions are there here. So here I'm taking S3 only. Okay. So I'm going to attach permission to my role, right? Is this clear? So again, you need to attach this role to your EC2 instance. Otherwise, it will not work, right? Role only created, but if you are not attaching means your EC2 will not work, right? Attach in security. Security under modify IAM role. You have to go this path and attach to your EC2 instance. Now your EC2 instance can access your S3. Clear? Yeah, this is the process. One more question. If you want to access your S3 bucket from your local laptop, role will work? Role will work or not? Anyone? This is AWS EC2 instance, right? For example, my laptop, this is my laptop. My laptop is going to communicate with S3 bucket. In this case, role will work? Work or not? So how it will work? Are you going to attach role to your laptop? Understand? So that's what. Clear the difference? If AWS service, we can attach. But how you can attach to your laptop to your role? You are not in AWS network, right? This is your personal laptop. So if you are accessing any AWS services from the outside, from the programmatical access, you have to use keys concept only. Create user and configure keys. But you are inside of the AWS environment, we can use the role. This is the major difference. Clear? Everyone? Yes. Huh? But no. We can attach role to user, right? But user also we have to configure keys, right? That's what I'm saying here. Clear? We can attach role to user, but you have to configure user keys, right? Clear? But here I have attached role to EC2 instance without configure keys, I'm able to access. Yeah, that is the difference. Role can attach to user, role can attach to group, role can attach to anywhere, permissions. Now questions. We have to give access 2 times for the user. We can give access any times. You can add, you can modify, we can delete. Anytime we can give Raju. Root create users, user created role. Yes, no, root create user, user create role means this role creation permission given by again root, right? Whatever action user will do means that action permission required from the root. If root will give, you can do it. I'm also making you as admin team in the Telegram group, right? You can send a message, you can delete a message, you can update a message, whatever it is, same like. Leave it for Muhammad, please. Linux, please leave it for this time. Others may confuse. Once again, I'm saying, please don't discuss here root users, Linux users. Understand IAM, yaar. We are in IAM class. Why you are confusing yourself? Later, you may confuse what is IAM user. Right or not? I'm keep on saying, don't send any messages related Linux. Others may confuse. I'm saying IAM role, IAM user, first focus on this 2. There is a dedicated session on Linux users. Why you are confusing with the unknown things here? I'm not understanding. Please understand. Maybe you are fine with IAM, na? Let others also understand that. If you update any questions like what is sudo su1, others may confuse, especially non-ITs. Hey, no need to say sorry. Can you go to AWS Connect, not DevRole, any other? If you AWS Connect permission given to your user, user can connect. Approach to, yeah, no problem. I will create one more time. Yes, correct, Raju. In this role, you gave access from EC2 to S3, but didn't assign to any user. That means I'm not, see, I have assigned role to root only. I'm not performing any action users, right? Users concept already I have completed now. I'm in role. So you can understand same concept you can do by user also, right? So here also, right? Here also. Same concept I can do here also, right? If I attach IAM role to my user, I can perform here also. Clear? No need to configure keys since you are in AWS environment. If you are outside of AWS environment, role will not help you. Right? See why? Go to instance settings, actions, security, modify IAM role. I'm attaching to your instance. I'm inside of your instance, right? But how you are going to attach to your laptop? This role without configure keys. So if you are local, see if you can see here, I'm the user, right? I'm unable to attach role also. Why? I don't have permissions. Clear or not? Role is there. But if I give IAM full access to you, you can create user, you can create IAM role, or you can add existing IAM role to your instance. Is this clear? Okay, I will show you here. You may understand here. Okay, see guys, I'm the role here, right? Okay, this is my user, right? Developer one. This developer one, I'm going to add permissions for IAM, right? IAM full access. I have given IAM full access to developer one. Now developer one able to see my role also, right? I have created one role, right? He is able to see that role. So now you just come to IAM. Go to roles. See, I'm able to see EC2 S3 role from the user point of view. Why? Admin given permission to IAM full access. Now I can attach this role to my EC2 instance also. Now for my end also not required for configure the keys. I can access S3 bucket. Clear? So how to attach this instance? This guy is go to EC2 instance. Go to instances. My end only one instance, right? I mean, sorry, 4 instance something. Okay. So which one I have created? EC2 user, right? I'll open the EC2 user, actions, security, modify IAM role. I can attach EC2 S3. See, I have done. I got permission from root. So I have attached it. Now I can log in. I can connect AWS S3 LS. Again, S3 permission per user. If S3 permission is there, I can able to access same like role, not required to configure keys. Clear? Let me connect. Okay, so I can give AWS S3 LS also, no problem. Oh, sorry. See, no need to configure keys, right? This is the difference you need to understand. The same difference. Hmm. So here, Will it work AWS S3 LS? Definitely your command prompt is not inside the network, AWS network. So you need to configure keys only here. Without configure keys, how the here your laptop will communicate to your AWS environment? Is it clear? No. Here definitely you need to configure root keys or user keys. Clear? Yeah. But AWS EC2 is inside of AWS environment. We can use AWS services to attach and detach. But laptop is not AWS service. It is a physical service, physical device, your personal device. We cannot attach IAM service directly to here. IAM role. Is it clear? No. So that's what in coming sessions, whatever you are doing practice with the local laptop, so you have to configure keys must. That keys are user keys or root keys, completely your wish. For example, your Terraform or your Docker, your Kubernetes is going to communicate from your laptop to AWS environment. You have to configure keys. That keys is users or root, complete your wish. But real time, we are not access root keys. We are access user keys with the permission control. Is this clear, everyone, the clarity, the difference and everything? So, yeah. If it is a on-prem local laptop, okay. So if you're going to access S3, okay. Okay. If you're going to access from the local laptop to S3, role will work? No, we cannot attach role to laptop, right? That's what we can use only users concept or root concept. Root keys are user keys per programmatical access. Clear? But console access, you are going to log in, right? From your laptop, you are giving you root username, sorry, email and password. It will log in. Here also we need to log in, give access key, secret key. But here you are already logged in your AWS environment. That's what no need to configure keys. We can attach the role. Clear the difference all? Yeah. So here, lot of people may struggle still understanding, unable to understand what is keys, how to attach. So here we can see so many problems in the coming days. If you are clear here, no problem. Clear now? See, if you are running any Terraform script, for example, here, if you are unable to access anything, getting permission denied me something, you have to understand, okay, keys, I have whatever keys I have configured, there is no permission for to create a S3 service. Like that, you will understand. Clear? Anyone has any doubts? So that I need to jump one more topic. What is easy to connect? Easy to connect is a connect of your EC2 instance. There is no separate user. EC2 connect is a permission, guys. Sham. EC2 connect is a permission to connect your EC2 instance, your user. Clear? Yeah. How can the user know what all the access and roles are enabled by the root? See, if you can go inside, you can easily understand, right? What are permissions are there? If no permission, you are not going inside, right? You need to ask, hey, I need S3 permission. I need EC2 permission. Yeah. Next, any questions? What is the difference between permissions, roles, and policies? Permissions policies we have already explained. Permission policies both are same. We can see, you can add here one more question, Nagarjuna. We'll get a better clarity. Copy. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Okay. So permissions policies both are same. Is this clear? But role user, what is the difference between role and user? If I ask you this question, what is your answer? Hmm? Vital, please park aside your question. We are in IM discussing HTML code. We can discuss later. Anyway, what is the difference between role and user? Just assume it. Role is source, resource based. Ramesh, you are right, little. What is the major difference, role and user? We can attach permissions to user, right? We can attach permissions to role, right? What is the difference then? Very good. We can log in user, but we cannot role, right? Clear or not? That's the difference only. User, role, both are same. But user can log in, root cannot log in. That's what rule to whatever permissions are attached to role. To apply that, we need to attach any service to role to apply those permissions. But user cannot attach, right? User log into your credentials. If the permission says there, user can able to access. That is the difference. Yes, very good, Sandeep. Policies are attached to users and role is attached to EC automation. Very good. Okay. I will show you here. This is, for example, okay, guys, if you can see, these are the permissions. Understand here. These are permissions or policies, whatever it, both are same. Permissions are policies. Okay. So what type of permission that you need to understand? Default or customer inline. Is this clear? No, right? So here user is there. Here role is there. We can address these permissions to both, right? User, also role. Clear? But this user can log in by keys, right? By using keys. By using keys and I can access, right? Right or not? User can access permissions if he log in by using keys. But root want to access those permissions. Yes, permissions attached to root, but root can log in to check. Can root log in? No, right? Root, no, there is no users, there is no login concept in the root. So to apply these permissions, what are permission? For example, S3 permission. This is also S3 permission. To check S3 permission, user can log in and check the S3 permission is there or not. Same S3 permission given to root. How root will verify S3 permission there or not? By seeing manually only. So to apply this S3 permission, this root, sorry, this is role, right? Okay, okay. So to verify this role, S3 permission is there or not, there is no option to log in. So if you want to provide S3 access through role, not user, so we have to attach process. Attach process, this role. Whether it is a EC2, whether it is a Lambda, whatever it is. So once we attach means we can, this EC2 able to access this S3 permissions. Is clear? The difference? Yeah. So user can verify easily by login, but root there is no credentials to log in, right? So that's what role, whatever permission you are attached to role, if you want to apply these permissions to that any device, any service, you have to attach this role. Role already permission is ready. You have to attach only. For example, there is a Lambda service. Lambda want to talk S3 bucket. So what I can do? This role I can attach to Lambda, right? Clear? Like that we can do it. No need to create again user for Lambda, or we have already user, right? That user we can add the Lambda permissions. That is not a good practice. If you are doing in AWS environment, there is no keys configure concept, all role based concept. So in that case, once your project complete means definitely everything work in the AWS environment only, not in local, right? In that case, we are not using any users concept. Is this clear? Yeah. But do practice, definitely we can do the user concept. But once practice everything got done, the user permissions, whatever you are giving, the same permission you are giving to role and attached to that your service. Clear? Offline, anyone has any doubts? Okay. What about online? Yeah, role is common, right? IAM role permission is given means we can attach role multiple services. We cannot attach two roles for one service, but we can attach to one role for multiple services. Is this clear? Why? Same security groups. Compare with security groups. Security groups, can we attach two security groups for one instance? No. If required, add rules. Same here also. If required, add permissions to role. Don't create each permission for one role. If ESET is looking for three permissions, no need to attach three roles. One role we are attaching three permissions, we can attach. Same like SG group. Understand the difference? Yeah. Okay. This is the concept of IAM and local. This is very important. You know, still many people are suffer to understand this concept. This is very, very important concept. Okay. For example, guys, I'm the root, right? Now user can create a IAM role also. Why? IAM full access given to user, right? Now, for example, root going to, I'm going to create one more role. The requirement is my Lambda service. What is Lambda? A bit for that. My Lambda service is want to communicate with S3 bucket. How to do it? Just understand how to do it. Create role first, right? No need to configure keys. Lambda is in AWS service, S3 in AWS service. Okay. So my Lambda want to communicate with S3 bucket. All right. So how to create a role? First create a role. Okay, this is clear. Can we attach EC2 S3 role to Lambda? Can we attach? No. Why? Requester is EC2 here. You can attach that role to other EC2s. Other EC2s also requesters are EC2s, right? But now requirement is Lambda want to communicate S3. There is no EC2 concept here, right? So how to create a IAM role? Here. We need to select AWS Lambda. Clear? Now, next, give permissions for whatever permissions Lambda is looking. For example, S3, S3. Now, role is, you have to give the role name. Whatever name, Lambda to S3 you can give for better understanding only. Now, this is a trusted policy is going to update, trusted policy. For IAM role, the backend we are doing console basis, right? The backend, this JSON policy is update to understand. Anyway, leave it for this time. Created a role, right? Okay. Lambda S3. This role will work for EC2 instance? No. Here requester is Lambda. So I can attach to only Lambda only. Now your Lambda function can able to talk to S3 bucket. Is this clear? Clarity? Yeah. Yes, correct. Very good. Yes, probably you are right. Sir, in real time, which one we are using role based or user? Role only. Role only. Finally, guys, finally your project will deliver in root account only, right? Clear or not? Root account only. So we can attach roles. No need to configure any keys. Configure keys to communicate your laptop to your AWS environment to do the practice. See, if I want to type a code here, I want to run this code, right? I will not run everything in the EC2 instance to verify it. This is user friendly. I will run here. To run, I need to communicate my AWS environment for I need to configure keys. But once I hand over this project to client will create IAM user. Maybe he want to communicate with his laptop. I will not share my user credential to client to access, right? Yes. Clear, everyone? Any confusions here, anyone? From tomorrow, Linux classes. No. From tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. We can start to Linux classes. Before that, I need to explain one concept, three-tier architecture tomorrow, first half an hour, and SDLC process also, software development lifecycle, and a three-tier architecture. Then I will move to expecting blog and IAM2. I know you guys here. I will share it. Don't worry. See, I will try to make your job is easy. Don't worry. See, Naresh Naik's question. I think we are going to learn everything through Terraform, right? This is correct. If you are working in any automation environment, these resources we need to work with Terraform. So to understand Terraform, first you need to understand manual process. For example, I will show you one thing to you here. Go to my DevOps. See, this is IAM Terraform script, right? New user. Okay, let's. This is Terraform running nodes. Okay, create IAM user and attach policy using Terraform. See, this is policy attachment. Okay, this is policy created. This is user created. That's it only. 3 steps, right? First step is what? We need to create a user, right? And before that, policy should be ready. Is it custom policy or inline policy or default policy? So 3 actions. One policy is ready, one user is ready, third is attached. See, Terraform also saying same thing. Resource to create IAM user. Make it ready for policy. Attach to your user. See, if you know manual process, you can understand. Otherwise, you don't know this concept. Why you need to attach? Why policy is here? What is user here? 3 questions again from the 3 things, right? So make it ready yourself. Be strong in manual process to understand Terraform process. Otherwise, no one can help you. I need to take again manual process classes and again Terraform. Is this clear? Yeah. So your seniors, I mean, we are in here. I will show you here. Day 8. So I think 2 days it will take to complete Terraform for them. Okay. Is it clear, everyone? It is all prerequisite to learn Terraform for better understanding. Yes, now you got it. So now you're understanding, guys. Without AWS, how to learn Terraform? It is like a one-day learning English, right? Clear or not? That's what I covered AWS first. Then you can understand Terraform. Okay. So many institutes, everything complete for DevOps tools first, last AWS services. Again, you need to learn Terraform first, right? That's what. Even after manual process, sir will be able to write all such script depends on any requirement. I will take care of that, right, Pravalika? Don't worry. I'm here to make it your job is very easy. So prerequisite is you are I need from you guys, strong knowledge manual process. For example, guys, if I say, can one day learning English better than the British. Okay. If I say, can you create Lambda function by using Terraform? Is it possible to you? First of all, you don't know what is Lambda function, right? You need to understand what is Lambda function manual process. Then those steps we can configure into Terraform. Clear the concept. So you need to understand entire Terraform. Taking one or two services an example. I can't show all services, right? I will show EC2, S3, IAM, RDS examples. If someone will ask you to create a DynamoDB by using Terraform, first you need to understand DynamoDB. If you know DynamoDB, understand, you can easily create by using Terraform, since you have a knowledge of creation of 4 or 5 services, right? That is the difference only. Clear? AWS CLI comments. Okay, I will share it, guys. Is it clear, everyone? Can you give please CC online team if you're okay? Linux already batch started, you know, right? Free batch. If you want to learn in admin level, you can join there. But my suggestion is CC. What is the full form is CC? Yeah, very good, Imran. Okay, if you want to join, guys, you can join Linux classes also parallelly. But my suggestion is this 3 days is enough for DevOps. Whatever I'm going to take care, these 3 days classes are more than enough. Okay, for DevOps. Linux Baditulu. I think already attended Linux classes. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. So that's all for today. We'll enter for Linux for tomorrow. And one more concept is left, guys, in EC2 instance, EBS volumes. Okay. I will take care of that for half an hour. Find it. Thank you so much. One question. Sir, I'm not able to see any study material. Which study material? How can I connect offline? You can come to Institute. Otherwise, you can call me in the Telegram if you have any doubts. Okay. Okay, guys. Bye. Sham, you can come to Institute or you can call me. What is your query? You can update me. Offline means, are you going to meet me? Okay, also fine, no problem. You can meet in Hyderabad. Thank you. Bye.